Okay, so today I thought I would do a disassembly video on a Colt cap and ball revolver. This is a Colt Navy, and it's extremely dirty. As you can see, I fired about 40 rounds today, so it needs a good cleaning, and I'm just going to gut it all out. Now, the first step in the process is to remove this wedge. Now, sometimes they're tight, and what you could do is, if I could find any tools, take a hammer, or you could use a plastic mallet and hit it directly on there, or you could use a clothespin, and you can modify it to fit the wedge, grind it down to fit the wedge, and you could just give it a little tap, and it starts to move, and there you go. So it's out far enough. So to remove it easily, put it on half cock. This is what I do when it's heavily fouled, like right now, and I just lower the ramrod in between cylinders, or chambers rather, and I just pull. And when I was done at the range, I sprayed some Ballistol down the bore and down the chamber mouths, and that actually lubed this up pretty good, so everything's not so tight. Loosen it up a little. So now you just pull out the cylinder, and here's you're left with the main frame and everything. But first, I'm going to work on the barrel. Take the wedge out. What I'm going to do. Well, I'll do that later, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do for cleaning in a second. Okay, so I want to remove this screw. There's a glare. I want to remove this screw. Now, when you're going to do this, you want to have hollow ground gunsmithing screwdrivers. You don't want to have regular screwdrivers because they're shaped differently. As you can see, these are you can't tell. These are shaped differently than a regular screwdriver. A regular screwdriver these are like tapered, and the regular screwdriver is just kind of flat, and that boogers up the screws. These fit the screws perfectly, and these are soft screws. They're not hard by any means. Booger them up very easily. So I'm going to remove that screw. Pull out the screw, take out the ramrod, and you're left with the barrel. Now, there's another screw here, and it gives you access to this little plunger thingy, and I'm just going to unscrew that too while I'm at it. Make myself some room. Okay. Unscrew that. Now comes the plunger, and what I do is I keep all the parts together. It's the best way to do it. You don't want to mix the screws up or anything. So that's what I'm going to do. So now you're left with the bare frame totally, and the barrel is all done. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the parts, put them in a bin of hot water, and this water is actually not boiling hot. I just did tap water and hot, and I'm just gonna stick it in the water. Same with all the parts, just like that. While I work on the other stuff. If I could position the camera. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on the cylinder. And the cylinder, you have to take out the nipples. So I got this nipple wrench from Cabela's for 20 bucks. Sometimes they would go on sale, or you get them on eBay for a little cheaper. But this was 20 bucks when it wasn't on sale. So it's a fairly cheap priced wrench, but it works good. Traditions has a T-shaped wrench, sort of like this one. they fit the nipples really good, but they're horrible. They're just, the quality is just not there. They'll strip out on you in no time. So get yourself a good wrench. This is a ratcheting one, just like that. And what I do is just wind it, or unscrew it out, and there you go. And I'm going to do that. Alright, so all the nipples are taken out of the cylinder, and I'm going to just take these and throw them in the water, or put them in the water. Alright, now we're left with the bare frame and grips. So now we have to take this apart, and the first thing to do is loosen up this screw, and then go to these. So what I have to do, change bits, and I use this, well, I'm going to need that in a minute. So you take the screw, and you can see this screw is pretty boogered up, and that's from a regular screwdriver. Just boogered it up when the gun was brand new and everything was tight. That's why you want these good hollow ground screwdrivers like the ones I'm using. I'm gonna loosen this guy up. Okay, so now I need an extension. And this extension's pretty jerry-rigged, to tell you the truth. It's very loose. It fits right in there, and I put my bit on there because I need extension, because here the grip, just the way it's made, I can't get my screwdriver in there. So I have the extension there. I'm going to loosen this screw up. Whoops. And I'm going to take this one out. Really, what you could do at this point is just take the bit out of the screwdriver and just unwind it like that. It might be a little easier. Yeah, that one doesn't want to come yet. Okay, I got that bit out, or that screw out. So I'm going to take my bit and remove this screw. And now you could slide off the grips in the back strap. And like I said, I keep all the stuff together. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is get a screwdriver, or a bit that'll fit the mainspring screw. So what I'm going to do is unscrew that. If I could get my bit in there. Come on. Alright. Now it comes. Okay, so this is what we're left with. I'm gonna change out bits for this trigger guard screw. Gonna loosen it. Get my extension. Okay. Alright. So here we go. I'm gonna loosen this one up. I'm gonna take this one out. If I could get, alright. You can see it's coming. If my hand's not in the way. I'm gonna take this screw out. And keep all my parts together. Alright, left with the bare frame with the parts. And I have to get rid of this screw first. Just gonna unscrew it. I lost my bit there. And I'm going to just lift this mainspring out. There we go. There we go. What I'm gonna do is gonna take the screw out right here. It's the one next to the left of the trigger. I'm going to pull that screw out. Next I'm going to take the trigger screw out. And pull that screw out. This step may seem a little confusing, but it's not. It's pretty straightforward. Pull out the trigger. Put the part together. So I have this screw out. And you have the cylinder bolt. And you can see it under here. What I'm going to do is push it down a little bit. I'm going to take my screwdriver and just gently lift it out of the frame. Don't want to scratch it up or anything, just gently lift it out. Next we have to take out this screw. And see if I could have you see this. Sorry. Pull out the screw. Take your hammer. And just pull it out. And now I'm going to put all the parts in the bin of water, and we'll be back.